Hans Christian Andersen once said, "Where words fail, music speaks." And it speaks to us in a language much foreign to one and which relates to another. But we all have our own experiences when it comes to music. And MJAMS Pacific will go live here in Papua New Guinea in April, together with the Central Music Association, of course. And I'm privileged to have with me in the studio now Ola Moy, the president for the Central Music Association, and joining us later on in the program also from Australia, Aaron Egan, who is MJAM's head of marketing. Ola, thank you for joining us on the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so we're talking about this concert, the launch that will happen in Papua New Guinea in April, and Central Music Association leading the way. Must be exciting times for us.
Oh, it is. I mean, if you're a musician or if you're an artist who's, spent a number of decades trying to make use of your talent or put food on the table for your family through music, technology change has allowed us to come this far and allowed us to actually make money from the bedroom. You can, record in the bedroom and export and literally make money through this product that we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
All right. So as part of this launch that's going to happen, there have been some announcements of what to expect. Some big name musicians in Central will be making their appearances on the launch.
That is correct. So we have made the announcement. Now, MJAMS Limited, that's a local Papua New Guinea company which is part owned by the non-profit association which I am president of, which is the Central Music Association. We will go live. The MJAMS Pacific app will go live, mobile app will go live in April. And we've announced it a couple of days ago. And in the next couple of weeks, we are preparing for a concert to mark the launch in Papua New Guinea. I mean, the MJAMS app is available, but it doesn't go live until then. Yes.
All right. So before you touched on the funds that our musicians actually make in the country, just imagine if our musicians from the past had that sort of technology and aid to actually help them. They would probably be millionaires by now.
I'd love for everybody to have enough, to sustain their living. And if they make $1 million, why not? But technology really, holds us back, or innovation holds us back. And when technology changes, if we don't, keep our pace or keep to the technological pace, then we miss out on the benefits that technology introduces. Not only including in the music industry or in the entertainment industry, but in all different walks of life.
So you're speaking about the, adapting to the changes, digital migration, if you will, putting the songs, the content out there for everyone basically in the world to see and enjoy. But at the same time, look, there are other avenues out there in the social space, but musicians put their music out there, but they're not actually making money. This is one avenue that will actually, if they have the following, will come to that stage.
Oh yes, I mean, it's a practice in Papua New Guinea and the world over. A couple of decades back, we were used to physical marketing and physical distribution. So if you were like me, a little boy that grew up in the 1980s in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, you would be used to cassette tapes, go to your nearest supermarket, hand your money over the counter and get yourself a cassette. That's changed. I mean, what we were used to in terms of physical distribution has now moved to digital distribution. That whole business model has changed. Now, what has allowed that change to happen? Technology has done that. The internet has allowed that. Mobile phone technology has allowed that in Papua New Guinea. And it has not only replaced or made redundant other technologies that we were used to, AM radio, or transistor radios, and so on and so forth. So we now have the opportunity to actually make the opportunities that we were not entitled to or we were not able to because of technology before. Now we have that technology.
Of course, and I think also migrating with the changes is the desktop recording nowadays that people are used to.
Definitely, yes. Notice that there, decades ago in Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea, you would make your way to a big recording studio, a specialized room that had a desk panel, analog recording equipment, and you would record there. And the business model has changed. Now with software, you can actually record your own songs in your own bedroom, in your own house, and mix, and master them, and then export using the internet to digital platforms. Now, through the MJAMS Pacific app, which we are launching in April, our members now, we have members in Central Province, basically the who's who of artists in the Central Province, both male and female, and groups and individuals. So we've signed Hitsi Golo as an icon, DJs of Tubus area, fronted by two of the original members, Dikadai and Dokona Manoka. We've got Betty Toya, and we've got AK-47, Alan Kerea, and we have a lot of other established and emerging artists, that will come on board. Now, what we are doing right now is we are onboarding content onto the digital platform, which is loading content onto the cloud, and then packaging it ready for the launch. So, as with the other applications, this is something that we are going to launch using the internet and using mobile prepaid cards, and also mobile phones. So as long as you have the app, you are able to listen to those songs that you grew up with, but also the existing groups and existing solo artists and emerging ones. You can actually follow them with ease with just a tap of the button on your mobile phone. Come April, starting April.
Right. Exciting times ahead for Central music here in the country come April. We'll take a short break, and on the other side, we'll continue with more. Welcome back to Infocus discussions on an important topic here in the country, and also we're having this launch for MJAMS Pacific here in April in partnership, in association with the Central Music Association. And I'm privileged to still have with me in the studio Mr. Oala Moy, who is the president of the association, but a person who's been talking about copyright for a very, very long time, and you're still talking about it. Oala, in terms of the music making and in the country, the importance of actually making returns of the content that they put out. You touched a little bit about that, but how does MJAMS in a way actually solve some of these things that we were talking about several years back?
Okay, sure. Now, notice that if I can do a quick background, our commercially recorded music industry started roughly around 1979, 1980. So you had businesses or music recording companies that came online and started recording music for sale, for consumption. And we, at that time, I was a little kid, and at that time we had a lot of artists who came through, who signed contracts, and who would, if you recorded a hit album and it generated sales, and sales through the trade stores, sales to the supermarkets, you would make your way back to your recording company and wait for your check. That has changed. Now, fast forward from 1979 or 1980 to the year 2002, PNG never had a copyright legislation until 2002. That's 20 years ago. So notice that in this country, whenever your copyright, and the example of copyright we are using right now is your music and your lyrics. So your music, your songs, when they are packaged together as a single or as an album, and it's commercially, placed out there, and in this case on digital platforms, you can earn royalties. Now, in 2002, our parliament passed the act, and it gave songwriters, it gave recording artists the right to actually make money out of their copyrights, their songs, their lyrics, their music, and their albums, and the content that they put. Now, fast forward to the year 2022, and we're talking about launching in April. Now, the app itself has changed the way in which we package content, from the vinyl to the cassette, to the disc, to the MP3. And now we're not talking about carrying on around any medium. So we are talking about uploading content into the cloud, into a storage facility in another country, closing it up, packaging it properly, and then allowing access through subscriptions. So that is basically what the app does. And so you will have a smorgasbord of different Pacific artists. For our case, these are Papua New Guinea artists, starting with Central Province. What we are doing right now is our artists, who must be members of the association within Central Province and the Motu Koitabu villages in NCD, they come forward, they become members of the association, and one of the immediate benefit that they have, they can capitalize on is they sign an agreement, a streaming agreement with MJAMS Limited, which is a company, PNG company that is partly owned by the association. And then, so the streaming agreement is between MJAMS Limited and the artists. And then through that agreement, we also obtain their bank account details. And then that is data that goes to MJAMS Limited. And then they also obliged to give us their content now and going into the next 12 months, next 24 months. And so that exchange occurs. Now, when it goes on the app, and which is something that Aaron Egan, our friend from Australia that you will interview next, will explain how, our members, when they join the MJAMS app or get their content played, when the consumers use it, he will explain how you make money out of that. So you don't go back to the record company to wait for your checks. If you generate royalties, and it's just the simple touch of a button. So if you're an artist on the app from Milne Bay, let's say you're from Central Province, so you are Bradley Valenaki. So if I play one of your songs and then I'm listening to it through my headphone, already aren't you generating royalties? Now, that is calculated by MJAMS Limited, the company, and then it's wired straight into your account from one company account, from the MJAMS Limited company account to your company account. We, the MJAMS Limited, the PNG company, actually goes around and discusses or negotiates with mobile telecommunication companies, and these are fast-moving goods companies. There's so many companies out there who can use it as a marketing opportunity. You could have in-brand, in-app ads going on while you are listening to the music, to the streamed music as well. So that's how we're going to make our money. How MJAMS Limited engages with other users or other advertisers. We get that money, and then it's calculated, and then that's how you earn, as the artist, you earn the royalties, and that's based on the statistics we collect from the listenership when people stream your music.
Of course. In terms of the Central Music Association, how do Central Natunas or people from Central, musicians from Central, join the association? What are the steps involved? Okay.
Well, we are on Facebook. Our website is still under construction. We are on Facebook, so Central Music Association. If you're from Central Province, obviously both parents are from Central Province, or one parent is from Central Province, or a grandparent is from Central Province. Or you can Facebook or message us to join 50 kina membership fee, and then you pay that fee in. You have to be nominated by one of our existing members. You can message us on Facebook, and then we'll email you, or we'll share with you a one-page membership form, and then we can go from there. After you complete, after you pay your 50 kina, and you give us evidence that you have paid, we can now go ahead and if you're one of those artists who can't wait to get your content uploaded, we can go ahead, and the next step is to sign the streaming agreement, this time between MJAMS Limited and you as the artist.
All right. So enough talk. Now it's time for action.
Yeah. So many years talking about copyright, and it's a fantastic way to help our people, connect our people's content with the audience, and allow them to make some money so that they can pay their school fees. They're also human beings, and this is their trade. This is something they love doing and they want to do forever. And if it allows them, to live a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, I think this app is one of those apps that helps us to achieve that. Makes me happy.
And there's a saying, music never dies. Even when the artist dies, the music lives on.
Yeah, the legacy lives on. Yes.
Right. Good talk there. Look, we thank President of the Central Music Association, Olamoy, for making time on the program. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah.
All right. We'll take a short break, and on the other side, we speak to Aaron Egan from Australia. Welcome back to Infocus, and before the break I told you that I will be speaking with the MJAMS Pacific Head of Marketing, Aaron Egan, and he joins us now from Melbourne. Aaron, thank you for joining us on the program.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, guys.
All right, so Aaron, Oala spoke about the involvement of the Central Music Association with MJAMS Pacific. It's launching in April. Tell us about the hype building into this. What's in for MJAMS Pacific coming into a market like Papua New Guinea?
No, listen, it's incredibly exciting for us. Most importantly, the fact of the relationships we've been able to build into PNG. The CMA are going to play an important role for us, obviously being in market and what they're trying to do. Obviously they're looking to build a Formula Rights Association for musicians. And then, to be honest with you, MJAMS is just looking to play a small role in what they're looking to do locally. Whether that be through supporting local artists, in expanding their music to Pacific markets, and as well as supporting them through royalty payments.
All right. We understand that you have a presence in other countries in the Pacific. How has it been like? Tell us about the experience of working with other local artists from the Pacific.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of markets, we're currently live in Solomon Islands, American Samoa, as well as Tonga. We actually just hit a very large milestone last week in Solomon Islands. We just signed on our 400th artist in that particular market, which sort of marks us as having the largest archive of Solomon music in the world, which is incredibly exciting.
Wow! Yeah, of course.
Yeah, listen, we're live across multiple markets. We're incredibly excited to bring that music to Papua New Guinea, but more importantly for the musicians of Papua New Guinea, bringing that music to those markets that we're operationally. I know there's a lot of listeners in these markets that, there's some big artists in PNG that Solomon people listen to, so it's a good chance to bring that music across.
All right. Currently, the app is offline here in Papua New Guinea, so that means when you launch in April, it will come online for us, the users in Papua New Guinea.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. We haven't quite released to our in-market partners that you'll be able to download the application through, but that announcement's coming in the next couple of weeks, which I'm sure everyone's going to be excited for.
All right. So, look, in Papua New Guinea for a very long time, they've been talking about copyright laws and being able to get some money out from content that's been produced here in the country. For a very long time, Papua New Guinea musicians have had a mark in the Pacific market in terms of music. how would this benefit them when it comes on shore?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I guess our best example is the success we've had in Solomon Islands. So we sign artists onto contracts, and it's very important to state these are not exclusive contracts. Artists are free to share their content wherever they please. But a big part of us is obviously being very open with every artist that's on our platform. So every week or every month, an artist gets an update of where their song streams are at for that month, as well as what they've earned in royalties for that month as well. So we make sure we're very upfront and honest with our artists on what they've earned, and we pay out royalties accordingly. A good thing to note is in Solomon Islands, since obviously the launch of the product, we've paid out over $350,000 in SBD dollars, Solomon dollars in royalties, which is a huge achievement. It allows us to continue to support artists, which then benefits the platform itself, because if we're paying artists, they then have funds to create more music, which comes under the platform itself.
All right. So coming into the Papua New Guinea market, are you going to be only focused on music, or are there other areas that you would like to tap into? For example, stand-up comedians. How do you facilitate the other forms of arts as well, performing arts within that platform of yours?
Yeah, this has been a very much a common question as of late. Obviously, since COVID has hit, there's been a lot of content and content curators, I guess you would call it, that have been impacted through this. Gigs have been cancelled, shows have been cancelled. So we're looking to be able to support in any way we can. And obviously through conversations with OLA and the CMA, yeah, absolutely, we're looking to adjust our platform to facilitate things such as stand-up comedians, comedy shows, and other people that can benefit from what MJAMS is.
Going back to the launch, I think in April, there have been some talk of this live concert in Papua New Guinea and in other parts of the world because of COVID. People have not had the luxury of going out and enjoying. Many of the artists are performing live. Is this one avenue where you think is the answer to some of these virtual connections that should be established?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually, just before Christmas last year, we hosted the first ever virtual concert through MJAMS itself. That had very well-known artists such as Jara Local, Ismuki, as well as a couple of other well-known Pacific artists. They performed on that concert, which was completely virtual through our application, which was very successful. Obviously, that was it's a paid gig. All the customers and subscribers of MJAMS are allowed to tune in to watch that. Artists got to do something that they love and they weren't able to do for quite some time, and that was to perform live. So they're some of the things that we're looking to bring to PNG to facilitate, both from a music perspective and as well as other forms of other forms of things like that, such as artists and comedians and etc.
All right. Look, Aaron, we've come to the end of the program now. We appreciate your time with us. It's been a pleasure talking with you. All the best in the launch in April. We're all excited. Hopefully we can see you in PNG.
No, absolutely. We're looking to be here in Papua New Guinea for the launch. So hopefully we can make it. But thank you for your time, guys, and we're incredibly excited.
All right. Aaron Egan there from Melbourne joining us on the program. We wish them all the best in the launch in April, and pretty exciting times for music in Papua New Guinea and for Central music in general. If you have comments on tonight's program, you can email us on the email now showing on your screen, or you can engage with us on our social media pages. From all of us here, stay safe. Bye-bye.